Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Grid Vision. We are live from Chicagoland with Team Conti Sim Performance's Mega Money subscriber event. Live, once again, from virtual Chicagoland Raceway, I am Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth tonight by Taylor Burris, and as usual down in the truck, Austin Derbyshire. Taylor, here we are, Team Conti Mega Money Race. Are you excited for tonight? My hometown track.
Way through on the moment, but this mile-and-a-half circuit, we're going to see some great racing action here with these Xfinity cars, and of course with the amazing group over at Team Conti, who is working with these drivers to help propel them into the future of chances of competing in some of the top levels of eNASCAR competition.
You hear a lot of good things about the Team Conti setups, and they're going to be on display tonight. This is the Xfinity field, and we've got some keys to the race that you're going to share with us. Come on, let's hear what you've got to say.
Well, first and foremost, when it comes to racing here at the Chicagoland Speedway, is watch out for turn number 2. The cars are going to get quite a bit loosey-goosey as they make their way off corner exit. You got to be careful with that, especially for that small little bump right there in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Second thing we're going to see a lot of these drivers utilize is using all of the racetrack. We're going to see them right up against the wall, right there hugging that white line through the corner and going across the tri-oval right there below the white line to get as much ground covered as possible. And of course, big turn 3 and 4 momentum. You're going to see drivers get the most runs, make the most passes right out of turn 3 and 4. It's a great passing opportunity for these drivers, and it's going to be exciting.
Oh man, this is a big track. It's like I said, it's my home track, but let's get down to it. I think we're going to get to the grid pretty soon here. But the conditions out here, here we go, the starting grid. Let's go ahead and break it down. First position, pole position tonight. That's going to go to William Price. Second to Jerry Cochran. Third, Benjamin Garrity. Fourth, Alexander Tessier. Fifth, Kevin Martin. Sixth, Colby DiCarlo. 7th, Travis Massier. 8th, Daniel Wiles. 9th, William Lark. And 10th, Russell Black.
Moving on into the row number 6, it'll be Randy Sample and Joe Torres, followed by Larry McDonald and Chad Wolf. Spencer Peterson and Carl Field will be starting in row number 8, with Rodney Pitcock and Daniel Best in row number 9. Rounding out your top 10, it is the former eNASCAR champion and owner of Team Conti, Michael Conti, and Dylan Basin, rounding out your top 20.
Bringing things home, 21, Johnny Baldridge. 22, it's Justin Gann. 23, Ken Campbell. 24, Robert Lawrence. 25, Craig Goodenough. 26, Russell Friedman. And 27, Cody Curran.
I hope Goodenough's going to be good enough for today's race.
You know what? I think he's going to be better than good enough. I couldn't think of a better pun to say because just they've good enough. It's just making me laugh so hard. My pick for tonight's race is going to be Joe Torres, specifically because it's good to see another Joe on the grid tonight. Good luck, Joe. Go out and get him.
One of our ones that I'm going to be picking here is Mr. Johnny Baldridge, who we've seen regularly last season in the broadcast that we had on Grid Vision. So keep an eye out on him in that number 17. And of course, our producer, Austin Derbyshire, going with another driver as well, Mr. Martin, in that number 18 machine, looking to try to fight his way through the field. And yes, none of us did not pick Conti.
Well, you don't want to seem like you're, playing it too much up to the boss, right?
Absolutely. Make him work for it.
That was part of my reasoning at the very least here. But we've got the grid starting off. We've got 1 to green out there in front. William Price in the 34 machine. Jerry Cochran in the 72 on the outside. Coming around that treacherous turn number 2 that you were just talking about, I think, right?
Yes, they are. They're coming off treacherous turn 2 here for these. And we just got word from some people in the chat, as well as our producer, that Mr. Michael Conti not racing. He just decided to go out there and set a qualifying time.
That's fair. That's fair enough. Okay. Lovely field of cars.
Oh yeah, great field, great racing. Good way to get things ready to go for these drivers to kick off another week in the world of NASCAR competition on the world of iRacing as they get themselves ready to go. And of course, a little bit of money on the line for these drivers. $100 to the winner.
$100, Taylor, a $200 total prize pool across the top there. Let's see what happens when we are green. We are go, go, go here on Grid Vision. And out into the front moves William K. Price. Jerry Cochran close, though, on the outside as he moves down to the inside to start that inside line. The outside is starting to form up a little bit, but it hasn't quite solidified the way the inside has here. Price to the front, Cochran behind him with Ben Garrity in the 19 behind him.
Most of these drivers are going to try to stick to the inside of the racetrack as best that they can with those fresh Goodyear Eagles on them. We'll start seeing them make their way up to the top slowly as the run progresses, but we already see a couple of drivers trying to run right up against the outside wall as best they can to build up momentum and try and conserve some of the tires here in the early stages of the race.
Now, when I was racing a little more regularly, the Xfinity car was something that I love to drive. There's a uniqueness to it that some of the Cup cars and the trucks just don't have, and this is going to be an interesting race for me because I haven't called an Xfinity race in a while, so be sure to keep me honest on any of the uniqueness that these cars are bringing to the field.
Well, honestly, when it comes to the NASCAR style of cars on the iRacing service, everyone is a fan favorite of the Xfinity cars because of just how much drivability and how much it is not just the setups, which we see here from the Conti Sim Performance Group, but also just how well you can drive and manage your equipment in these races here. We're really going to see that happen here for our competitors of how well they can make it their way through, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see each and one of these drivers battling it out for a chance of winning when it gets set for the new week here at Chicagoland.
That's right. With cash on the line, we're seeing a few drivers put it too wide right now. Dylan Basin here was just briefly in one of those situations. He's taking the machine forward. Kevin Martin. Colby DiCarlo, he's up 2 places right now in 4th in the 8 machine. Looking good with that pilot livery on there. Things have started to string out a little bit for the long run here. Remember, we've got 80 laps tonight here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, right now you're on
Dylan Bason's bumper there, yeah.
Yeah, Basin having a good run right now. He is trying to just make sure he takes care of his equipment in that number 20 in 7th position. He's got a little bit of a group starting to form up behind him as they try to work their way through. But so far, no one really wanting to press the envelope. A lot of racing, and these cars are going to go through a couple of changes here through each of the start. We're going to start seeing some handling issues possibly come into play around lap 20 to 30, where we get close to that halfway point in a fuel run for these drivers where they want to come down for tires, as we see another great pass here from Basin. He'll look to the inside of the 13 of Travis Massiere to move into the 6th position, slides right across the nose, and gets the spot.
He's been moving up since the start of this race. He's moved up 14 positions, and I don't think he's going to stop anytime soon. He's got quite the lead foot right now. Dylan Basin sitting there pretty in 6th position, but it's not going to be enough. William Lark, though, also, he's down 1 position. He's in 10th right now on the inside of the 7 machine of Alexander Tessier. Tessier's been using that outside line a little bit, but it seems like he's falling in now, trying to get some of that draft maybe off the back of the car. Nope, he's back to the outside as I say that. He's one of those guys that sort of hints at the wall, as we've got another 2 wide situation forming here. A little pack of Hornets. No, not quite. Just a little bit of who's on the outside there?
It might be by the looks of it, because you got William Lark on the inside lane. I'm having a feeling that probably is Russell Black.
Yeah. Okay.
You see Black trying to see if he can get an early start on that middle to upper lane right now. It's going to not work for him too well at the early stages, as we see Martin now making a good run up through the field in his 18 machine. He's got a little bit of work to do now, but so far for Kevin Martin inside the top 5 as he tries to hold off the driver of Colby DiCarlo, who's trying to work the outside lane. They'll drag race down the back straightaway.
Oh, DiCarlo's got the inside line, or the outside line still locked up. The momentum's pretty good, but once you drop down and you use that geometry, it seems like it's going to pay off, but no, he's kept it. Yeah, that momentum. DiCarlo, he knows his line. It looks like it's paying off for him. He's playing it defensively enough, and he's able to hold off for a little bit longer, that 18.
Oh, not so fast. He just got into the outside wall and lost a ton of speed and a bunch of positions for DiCarlo. That's a tough break. You'll lose about 4 spots right now, just getting in front of Alexander Tessier in the 9th position. So the 8 car sits in 8th. We take a look at the replay.
Here's a quick replay right as we were talking about him. We gave him the old commentary curse.
Right there, the car just gets a little bit washed up and then just scrapes the wall, but that alone caused him to lose a lot of position, making a total of 4 spots lost.
Held on to it, but when you get pulled up into the wall like that, sometimes you just feel like a magnet has got your car, and it's just holding it against the wall no matter what you want to do. You don't know what to do in that position. You're going to either cause an accident, or not, thankfully, in this case, and it looks like he knew what to do. But that did lose him the positions. Now he's too wide on the inside, though. Is he going to be able to hold off Daniel Wiles, who's looking for 8th? He's looking for, I think he's looking for 7th right now, actually. Wiles just tucked in behind Colby DiCarlo.
Oh, we're going to take a look back up at the front of the field with William Price still leading ahead of Jerry Cochran III right now. They have about a 1.2 second advantage over the rest of the field, with Benjamin Garrity sitting 3rd. Dylan Basin, your biggest mover, sits in P4 as he is. I'm a little concerned with Dylan right now with how hard he's been charging, of how well his tires are going to be as we get further in the run. And then rounding out your top 5 is Travis Massiere, who sits in the 13 machine.
It has been a pretty steady line here. We've seen, again, some of these too wide, these situations where we've had a little bit of shuffling going on, a couple people bouncing off the wall, losing positions, Colby DiCarlo, but he's holding up traffic a little bit of a gap forming between him and the 13 of Travis Massiere as some people trying to get around. DiCarlo down to the inside. Behind him, Kevin Martin's trying to do anything he can to get around.
Yeah, Kevin gets a good. Yeah, Kevin's trying to get a good run here. He looks to the inside right now, but so far they're going to drag race. The 18 sticking on the outside, but here comes Daniel Wiles down, looking at work on the bottom of the racetrack for him. He'll make quick work of Kevin Martin to move up position just because of how well that inside lane is working for the moment. Oh, as Martin taps the outside wall off 4.
Yeah, you see that. Wiles a little bit of a slide from him, also down on the inside, but not as hard as the hit that Martin just took. Martin still on the outside. It's going to cost him the battling position against Wiles, but it puts him back in Tessier's quarter panel a little bit. Tessier still holding on to that middle line. Is he going to come up to the wall? Yes, he is. Try to get some momentum himself.
Yeah, he's working hard right now as they go side by side. It's the Chevy versus the Ford, the 64 machine of Black and Torres swapping positions. And I gotta point out, Torres has got a nice, clean paint scheme right there. A little throwback to Kevin Harvick a little bit with his number 29 as he tries to fight his way around the inside of Russell Black in his Ford.
With Torres is was my pick for tonight. He's still side by side. Up in front, Kevin Martin is still side by side with Wiles. Or with Tessier, excuse me. These two, wow, holding tight, giving him a little bit of the squeeze there. Tessier holding on, still using that inside, or that middle line. Neither one of them willing to give up any space here. But they're using the whole track, like you pointed out earlier, as much as they possibly can.
Absolutely. They are really giving it everything they got here in this stage of the race as they work their way through across the front or back straightaway heading into turn 3 and 4. Drivers just trying to find the opening they need to make it work for them. So far, so good as the 24 machine goes washed up the track. This could open up the door for some 3 and 4 wide action. As there you see Johnny Baldridge trying to find his opening.
Big situation here. We got 3 wide right now. Back to 2 wide. A little bit of a brake check. Here comes the 17, Johnny Baldridge. He's leading this pack, trying to keep up with Sample in front of him. That was a dangerous little situation that it looked like resolved itself nicely, thankfully. Ooh, a little bit of a slide out of the 30 of Justin Gann. Baldridge giving it the gas. Ooh, okay, a little bit wide himself potentially there. But now everybody's back in line. Off the wall goes the one of Pitcock. That was a little bump, but he responded to that very well. Looks like it was just a tap.
Just a little tap. He will continue on with his racing here as he works his way around the circuit. So far, he will follow right behind Johnny Baldridge for the 16th position. They are trying to make some ground up on the two cars ahead of them for the two Team Conti drivers, but so far, it's going to be a little bit fading in and out of how the pace is going. And so far, I'm looking through the field right now. Most of these drivers start off with a fast lap between a 32.0 to a 32.3. We have already fallen by over a second and a half for some of these drivers here as we progress further into the run. So that tire wear is starting to fade off a little bit, and we could probably see them fall off a good 2, maybe 2.5 seconds before that first round of pit stops.
Okay, in that first round of pit stops, you think, wow, when will that be coming around? We're on lap 20 right now. So with the fall off beginning?
We'll probably see them about the halfway point if they want to play their cards right. So coming in just around lap 40 to 45, we may see some drivers stretch it to lap 50 to have fresher tires towards the end of the run. It's all a matter of preference to see who will want to stay out as long as possible and have the freshest tires towards the end of this run.
Gotcha. And now the truck here wants us to take a look at Travis Massier as he is stuck in behind Colby DiCarlo. It looks like he's got an attack position. He was just in the spot to potentially close that gap and make Colby's day there for a second. Let's see if he can find another angle. Massier, Travis Massier. I think we have two. Do we have two Massiers in this race? We have a Tessier and a Massier.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure for Travis Massier, he's probably wondering if everyone's entertained by the action because he's got the Gladiator colors on his machine as he works his way through. And in fact, if you look on the back bumper, it asks, "Are you not entertained?" As Daniel Wiles will definitely get a look at that here as they come across the front straightaway.
Perfect timing with the camera. Amazing. Yes, we are entertained. Everybody's been entertained so far, I believe, by this mega money race. Remember, $200 being spread across the top 5, I believe. $100 to the winner. Right now, up at the front, we've got William K. Price, but we're looking at Daniel Wiles, who's holding off the 13 still. Wiles, Massier. And Tessier behind him.
Yeah, everyone's.
See if these three can sort it out.
Yeah, look at the big run right here that Tessier is getting off of turn number 2. He's going to try to take the high line with that big momentum, which will come into play for a lot of these drivers. Now he'll slink down to the bottom of the racetrack to get around Massier for the 7th spot. Sets his sights on Daniel Wiles. He's going to try to get a good run off turn number 4. There you see the 15 of Ken Campbell also on the move in the top 10. As those 4 drivers will battle it out for the 9th spot, trying to catch up to Russell Black.
Russell Black holding on to the 9th position, the top 10 just a little bit out. Ooh, kind of a quick move there from Massier. He's still holding on to 8. A little bit of a gap between himself and Russell Black now. Let's see what's going on a little bit further up. Dylan Basin, he's still up 16 positions. Ben Garrity in 3rd. Sliding their way through lap 24. Or excuse me, through lap 25.
Yeah, we're about lap 25 right now coming around for these drivers here. We'll be working their way through, but really good fight between the 19 as well, who's trying to fight his way through. Oh, Martin, or the 72 machine of Cochran, 3 wide as they come across the start-finish line here. But Cochran definitely not having a good run off turn 4. That opens the door for Basin and Garrity to pick up a couple of spots as those two will battle for the 2nd position.
Garrity almost getting a little bit squeezed there. It seems like he had a hard time getting through that there. It was almost a situation where he was down into the grass, didn't quite make it all the way to the grass, thankfully, just had to use the apron at the last second. Cochran behind him. These guys have got a battle that they are working their way through right now. as the 19 of Ben Garrity makes its way forward.
Absolutely, as they work their way forward right now. Big run by Cochran. He's trying to get himself all wound back up to try to take the fight back up into second place. Garrity, though, pulls away down the back straightaway. How about Colby DiCarlo right there closing in on this battle for second as well? He's going to go up to the top side and try to get that car wound up for big momentum. This is where he makes the run. Off turn 4, he picked up a couple of car lanes now as they head down the front straightaway. Got a bit of a toe of the draft from Cochran, and he's going to try to see if he can make a run off of turn 2 now if he gets that momentum, which he's been using on the outside. Even after that small scrape on the outside wall, he is still sticking up there, and he is making great time on the outside lane. Look at this run. He's going to try to make his way, but gets held up, had to check up a little bit because Cochran shuts the door on him, but now gives way as they go into 3 and 4.
What a blast. And I watch Cochran's going to probably end up moving back up. And again, that massive energy that he has might get cut off again, but it looks like no, the energy is going to win out. And on the outside, there he goes. Cochran's got to slide up behind the 8 machine. Colby DiCarlo takes fourth, or holds fourth, I should say. And he's looking very good now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and take a moment to take a break here on Grid Vision, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of this Mega Money race. We're back with more of the Team Conti Sim Performance Mega Money Race live at Chicagoland. There's some Speedway, Raceway. I think it's Chicagoland Speedway. Thank you very much. We're here on Grid Vision. Right now, William K. Price is out in the lead, holding things down. I'm Joe LaCastro, joined by Taylor Burris and Austin Derbyshire, and we are covering this race for you tonight. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Taylor.
Absolutely.
Like in the lead.
Yeah, he has been doing a phenomenal job, Mr. Price, as he continues to stretch out. It's kind of been plateaued right now. It's about 1.5 seconds between him and Dylan Basin as they work their way around the circuit here. Basin has been surprisingly doing quite well with managing his equipment. In fact, last time by, he was almost a tenth faster than your race leader. So he's starting to make some ground on your race leader as we pick up Colby DiCarlo, who's been another driver who's now gone to the top side of the racetrack to make some big moves and work his way further into the top 5.
DiCarlo holding on behind Ben Garrity. Garrity also driving. He's holding on to the 3rd place position. That's where he started tonight's race, and that's where he is right now. So it's a matter of pride here as DiCarlo comes down. Garrity's going to go for a little bit of the block there, keep him from going. Whoa, bit of a slide from DiCarlo as he ends up down on the inside of the track, a place we haven't seen him very often in the last couple of laps there. Slides his way back up to the wall. And let's hope he can hold on a little bit there.
Yeah,
Behind
Garrity.
Cochran's going to slide in.
Yeah, I've noticed Garrity is starting to go where we see DiCarlo go to try to take the air off the nose of that number 8 Chevrolet. And that's a good strategy call. But the problem is, if you're not careful, if we see DiCarlo get a good run, we will possibly see some close contact and maybe even some more issues arise as we progress into this race here. But a few laps away from the halfway point, should be seeing our drivers coming down anywhere between the next 5 to 10 laps for that one and only round of pit stops that they need to make it to the end for these drivers. But I have been watching the driver of Dylan Basin. He is now picked it up a notch. He is now just about a second to almost 9/10 of a second away from your race leader, William Price.
And here's the view from Bason's point of view right now as he, wow, gets really close to the wall there. A minute ago, he was down on the apron, using every inch of that track, trying to hold on to it. Very, very impressive. Wow.
Yeah, he's keeping a steady hand pretty much for the most part, just trying to stay inches off the wall, keeping that momentum, that as much speed to carry off corner exit in order to try and gain some ground on the straightaways here. Great job of that, using all of the racetrack, try to cut the track a little bit, shorten the distance up. And last time by, he was another half a tenth faster than your race leader. So he's making some ground here. As look how close he is to get to the wall, just paper thin as he works his way down the back straightaway to close that gap. It's now just under a second.
Well, the way that this kind of race goes, where it's in matter of increments, where you've got all the cars spread out and you have a chance to see that change lap over lap on an incremental level, that is what's going to pay off for him right now as we look a little bit further back in the pack. Get eyes on Ken Campbell. He's up 13 places right now, holding on to the last spot in the top 10. He's got to deal with the 29 of Joe Torres, my pick, who looks like he wants to put it 3 wide. Are we going to get it? Not quite. These guys are going to line back up on the straightaway here, try to catch some speed off each other. The 64 of Russell Black at the lead. Ken Campbell, Joe Torres is going to stay up. Down goes the 15 of Ken Campbell. He's got the speed. He's going to put it side by side with Russell Black. But Black's got the momentum coming out of this turn, it looks like, as we get back into that order once again.
Yeah, Campbell's there trying to find his opening to get some momentum. And he gets a good run right there off turn 2. But unfortunately for the Campbell Suit Machine, he's got a little bit more work to do as he comes down the back straightaway. Gets a little bit of the toe there for the 64 of Russell Black. Now dives it to the bottom of the racetrack. Black tried to shut the door to break the air off the nose of that Chevrolet. But unfortunately, Campbell is going to hold the line and get side by side with him as they come down across the front stretch.
This side-by-side was where he's been before, but can he turn this into a pass is the main question. Maybe with some help from Joe Torres behind him. Give him a little bit of help, potentially. Just enough draft. Or if Torres can steal some of the air off of Black, it might work out for him. It looks like it did. There goes Ken Campbell. He takes the spot for number 9.
He is, and look at the driver of Joe Torres. He's going to try to follow right behind Campbell here in order to make the pass complete. They're going to go side by side, a little too close for comfort, and so far they're going to drag right across the finish line, give the position to Joe Torres, though, as they head off into turn 1. Who can edge out who as they come through the middle of the corner? So far, Torres by half a car length, now a car length, clears him off turn 2, has trouble off turn 2, one car into the grass.
That no. Garrity. We saw a little bit, you saw Garrity get challenged a little bit earlier where he was forced down to the grass. Now we're seeing him fully in the grass this time, and he's back on his feet, though. We're going to keep it green. Let's get a little grid vision replay here. There's Colby DiCarlo. Garrity into the wall. He bounces right off. DiCarlo holds on.
It was a tough break there for Garrity. We talked about it beginning, is where turn 2 is that trouble area, hits the wall a little bit, and unfortunately DiCarlo had nowhere to go, checks up and hits his bumper, turning Garrity around. No caution though, we're still going to stay green.
Love it. Garrity just said, nope, I'm going to check out for a little while. I'll see you fellas. Sorry about the wreck. And Colby DiCarlo said, no problem, I'm going to hold on to third for you. And he really did. That was very impressive. Still in first place is William K. Price. Second, Dylan Basin. And then third, Colby DiCarlo. Bit of a gap there as we see the cameras catch up with Colby DiCarlo. We got a 2-wide situation, though, with Jerry Cochran on the outside. Down on the inside, it's Tessier.
Oh, trouble there for Cochran as he gets into the outside wall once again off turn number 4. Gathers that back up, but he's going to fall into the clutches, though, of Alexander Tessier as we go on board with, looks like Daniel Wiles we were on board with briefly as we watch him battle with Colby DiCarlo.
DiCarlo on the inside. We've seen him bounce off the wall and come back now. He's driven an incredible line even after a little bit of a shakeup, so the machine is no worse for the wear, or if it is, he's not showing any signs of bleeding. Still side by side, though, with the 48.
Good pass here for DiCarlo as he tries to hold on in that third position. Wiles, though, just trying to fight his way through around the outside lane here, along with everyone else. Cochran and Tessier going right up against the wall, while we see DiCarlo now sticking to the bottom. Here comes the run, though, from Wiles. Down the back straightaway, he gets to the quarter panel. They'll drag race into 3 and 4.
I'm surprised that DiCarlo kind of looked like he kind of gave him that a little bit, but he didn't want to risk any contact. Oh, DiCarlo now. That's why.
Big time slide heading into pit stops here as he was holding on for dear life.
And he missed the cone, thank goodness. What an impressive pit stop there from Colby DiCarlo.
Here comes
a couple other people pitting.
Yeah, a couple other drivers are coming down. Now the question is going to be, what will Mr. Price do along with Dylan Basin as they come out of turn number 4? Basin coming down pit road. Price will stay out another lap.
Just wants to set that precedent.
Basin is cleared on not speeding. As trouble, though. Johnny Baldridge loops it around off turn 4.
Ooh.
This is...
Also looks like Russell. Baldridge loops it around. Yep. We're going to get a replay here in a second, see what exactly went down as everybody was deciding to make their pit stops or not. Here comes Baldridge. You've got him here at the bottom of your screen.
He was trying to come down, and I have to say, coming here to Chicagoland, it's a tricky area to get off pit road because of how much speed you're carrying and how quickly the pit entrance comes up on you, as well as, so you have to be careful of where you try to set it up here. So we see some drivers at about mid-turn 3 and 4, you want to try to start slowing down, but he just could not get on the binders quick enough, and with how the elevation changes, trying to get down can be such a big issue, and unfortunately for him, he will loop it around and bring out our first caution after 48 laps complete.
All right, that's going to be something that, I thought that it was going to be the pit stops that were going to be what sort of condensed the field and changed the name of the game, but we've got that mixed with our first full field yellow, full field caution. So we've got another compression event basically occurring at the same time. So we're going to see these guys get a chance to get their pit stops in. We'll see who's first off the line there, and then who's going to stack up behind Price at this point, because I think that's where things were left when the yellow came out.
Certainly was
Price
the case
right
here.
There.
Oh, big missing a pit box right there for Cochran.
Cochran outside of his pit box. That's going to throw off the 19 of Garrity for a little bit. Everybody flying fast.
I think it's safe to say that will cost Cochran multiple position, as Mr. William Price will win the race off pit road, followed by Torres, Cochran, then Justin Gann, and Ben Garrity, your top 5.
All right. Everybody's going to get ready for what might end up being the second half overall of this race. We did get the yellow just over halfway. We're on about 49 there of 80. So we crossed the halfway point a few laps ago, but at that point we had seen some dominating racing from William K. Price out in front for the extent basically from the time he got pole position until the time that the yellow was called there. Joe Torres moving up 10 places after the race off pit road here, but we saw some good racing out of Ben Garrity, some good racing out of Colby DiCarlo. And now we're going to have a chance for some other drivers to take a little bit of the spotlight here at the front and see who else can work their way up. Some names we haven't seen in the top 10 yet or mentioned very often. Chad Wolf right now is sitting in 6th place. Greg Goodenough racing in 17th. He's up 18 places. And that's going to be good enough, getting the top 10.
Oh yeah, good top 10 run here for some of these drivers who are looking to work their way further up in the running order. We're going to keep an eye on.
Right, good enough.
So field is really ready to go. Everybody is just trying to be itching at the bit as some of the lap traffic will get themselves caught back up to the tail end of the field before we go back green flag racing.
And we do have a little bit of lap traffic now. This is a nice full field for tonight's race. The pace car has its lights off, so we are 1 to green. Coming on down any second now. There he goes. We're going to get into the restart zone. Here comes William K. Price, and we are go yet again here on Grid Vision.
How
William
about
K. Price out in the front.
Price shot out of a rocket to pull away from the competition. Cochran, though, trying to work his way as he will go 2 by 2 with the rest of the field as they come through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Big run, though, for the 48 machine. He was trying to build up some momentum. That's Dylan Basin, who's trying to pick up where he left off to catch back up to second.
This is their chance right now. Price was so far out ahead that without help, no one was really going to be able to get a chance to catch him. Now is their chance to work together as a bit of a de facto team to try to catch William K. Price, who's down to the apron now, is really taking advantage of Chicagoland's geometry there. They're going to try to keep up with him as best they possibly can. He's got a great line and a fast car tonight.
He's getting a lot of speed here as they work their way off turn number 2, down the back straightaway, side by side, as Basin with Craig Goodenough now goes into battle to the inside. Goodenough on the outside, trying to hug the outside wall. Basin sticks to that white line to hug it as best that he can. As they come out, oh, trouble, 1 car around, almost, and will save it further back. That's William Lark as he gathers it back up. We stay green, though, as they come across the line.
Got some fans of Dylan Basin in the chat right now calling out go Basin as we look at Ben Garrity. Garrity was down on the inside before the yellow. Now he's holding on to 4th place, down just 1 from where he started tonight's race. He's a little bit of a man alone, though. Tucked up and trying to get himself tucked up, behind Jerry Cochran, but he's a little bit on the inside. Can't quite get any help from the cars behind him in the moment. William Lark here. Back a little ways. Ooh.
Him and Kevin Martin getting together.
Replay.
Yeah, Martin gets in the back bumper of him. Lark does a great job of saving it, locking it down, trying to not come right back up across the track. But he, unfortunately, will drop to 22nd after that contact, as your top 3 are really going at it. Torres really trying to pick up the pace here and try and hunt your race leader. Cochran right behind as we watch the battle for position between Baldridge and DeCarlo for 10th place.
Side by side, giving each other the squeeze just a little bit. Baldridge just trying to keep the angle tight. He doesn't want to go quite to the wall. It looks like he's trying to get a little bit of the middle of that track. But DeCarlo is giving him a bit of a squeeze. Not a squeeze necessarily, but he's blocking him from where he really wants to be, in line with some of the rest of these cars. Hopefully he's thinking someone will be able to pop out and help him out a little bit. DeCarlo still making his way forward. He's just always able to keep his momentum up in that 8 machine.
He certainly is, as him and Baldridge will battle for position. Kevin Martin right there in the hunt as well as he watches on from the catbird seat. How about Chad Wolf in the 44 just up ahead of them?
Yeah, we were mentioning names we hadn't seen in the top 10 and mentioned in a bit. Wolf here. He's up 5 positions right now. Good to see him putting it in the speed, but he fell down a little bit since the race resumed. So let's see if he can maintain the speed and stick around in the top 10 with the rest of the big dogs here for a little bit. And just behind him, it looks like things have solidified between Baldridge and DeCarlo. Baldridge having won that particular soiree. Here's Joe Torres.
Torres gets the spot ahead of Cochran for the moment, and he is really trying to see what he can do. But the problem is they are losing ground on William Price as the clock and the laps continue to tick off here. We're closing in on just about 22 laps to go in the race.
And with just that much time, you know this race could end up going green the whole way. We've got 2 guys that are going to lose speed by fighting each other. Let's see if things can line up for them to push their way forward towards William K. Price, but that's going to take some coordination. I'm not sure if that's the end goal here for Cochran or Torres.
It certainly is not. They want to try to get some ground on him, but the problem is Price has been able to take care and manage his equipment so well as also being able to continue with some great speed for the race in order to make this run work for him. And I have a feeling he's going to continue to try to pick up where he left off.
Well, there is still some money to be made in the second, third, and fourth and fifth positions here in tonight's race, brought to you by, sponsored by Team Conti. So everyone's fighting for a little bit of something there in the top 5. Some shuffling going on here. Dylan Basin is just ahead of Campbell. Campbell on the inside tries to looks for the inside. Now looks for the, was looking for the outside, is now looking for the inside. Ugh. And he's going to get it. The 15 side by side. Basin
loses a spot to Campbell. He's got to work his way through as they come through the middle of the corner. Basin now back to the top side of the racetrack where he shines the best. But Campbell clears him and makes the position gain as he will move down the racetrack here to try to see if he can catch up to Justin Gann in the 5th spot, who holds that last money spot for these drivers here.
Gann himself, one of the hardest charters of tonight's race, up 17 positions. He's going to want to stay in that spot as best he can. That's the last spot to make any cash. Like we said, it's a spot he wants to be in. So hopefully he'll be able to play a little bit of defense and hold on to that. But Campbell has already proven that when he has the opportunity, he takes it. And when he shoots, he shoots. So it's only going to be a matter of time before he gets the angle and potentially has the ability to make that attack on Justin Gann. As we've got, we're now under 20 laps left in tonight's race. Coming down, Kevin Martin.
Oh,
very, wow, he's losing speed here, falling back several positions.
Oh, I think I might know what the situation may be. Coming off a turn 2, scrapes the wall, gets loose, hard contact with the wall, and that will make him lose multiple spots.
Yikes. Well, turn 2 takes another victim here tonight at Chicagoland. Kevin Martin this time. But up at the front, it's Joe Torres. Let's get a replay here. Maybe see when Kevin Martin tapped the wall, or who is this here? This is Cochran.
This is Cochran. Let's see what happened
Cochran
here.
And Torres.
Oh, a little too close right there. Cochran got into the wall, but was able to still keep up the speed and make the pass complete. What does Torres do here in response as they come out of turn number 4? Nothing really. So, beautiful, clean pass right there.
Well, we got a good look at a nice clean pass. Campbell. He's in now behind Justin Gann. Campbell wants a little bit of that, wants a slice of the pie. And this is his chance to get it.
He wants the whole bowl by the looks of it. He's going to try and find his way around Justin Gann. He'll look to the inside. Gann goes a little bit too wide right there. Car's not sticking where he wants to, as he will make the run down, of course, across the back straightaway, trying to see if he can set up a pass heading into 4. So far, not going to work. He'll now go to the top side of the racetrack.
Let's see if he can use that momentum that he's seen other drivers build up, and he can keep it up right now. That would be really nice for Ken Campbell. But it might be a little bit longer before he's got that speed. It looks like the door keeps getting left open, and this time he's got it almost side by side. The camera is just causing that forced perspective for a second, but he's still behind. Unfortunately, can't quite get that speed to stick out of these turns in order to challenge the place of Justin Gann.
Yeah, he's going to try everything he can in order to make this work for the competitors as he tries to find that opening with the momentum. But so far, not going to work for him as they work their way across the track.
Here's again his attempt down to the inside. That's where the door looks like it's usually open. Oh, up almost to the wall this time. couldn't quite get there, had to fall in again behind the 30. He was really trying on that one to stay in a challenging position, but he just did not have the speed, and he was risking it all to get his nose just cut off by the 30.
Close call indeed there. He's got to be careful with how much he's going to have to do that, because you don't want to do that too often, because an incident could happen amongst these two competitors. But here comes Campbell with another big run off turn 2. Can he propel himself down the back straightaway? Not going to be able to. He's going to stay tucked up in the draft as they head down to the 3.
And there he goes. Now a little bit out on his own there. Nope, back into the draft bubble. Kind of hard to read exactly what line he's drawing, but it looks like he's doing his best just to find the one that's going to have the most momentum. That's been the name of the game tonight with some of these guys who've been making the best passes.
Absolutely. Who's got the big momentum on their side as they come around to get 10 laps to go for Mr. William Price? Pretty much for Cochran and Torres, they have fallen off the pace quite a ways. For drivers like Dylan Basin, who's been running some consistent lap times, he is just nowhere near close enough to make up ground.
Yeah, unfortunately. And we have just 10 to go here tonight at Chicagoland. It's a money race. First place gets $100. The $200 getting split over the top 5, folks. Let's take a look at who's got 10 laps to go to win that money. William K. Price in first, Jerry Cochran in second, Joe Torres in third, Ben Garrity in fourth, and Justin Gann right now round out the money men in this situation. So let's see who can make it there. And there's a little bit of a battle going on that might change the way things go at that 5th place position. And behind him, we got a little bit of a looseness. Johnny Baldridge, unfortunately, a little loose. Looks like it's going to cost him a position. Maybe not. He was loose for a second there, but now he's got it back. Oh, no, contact!
They're still going at it here as Baldridge thought he was clear, but comes up the racetrack, makes contact with Basin. And unfortunately, that will be detrimental for Basin's run.
Absolutely. I think Basin had the position there. Baldridge was coming up a little bit blind, crashed him, and just didn't know he was there. Now, the side-by-side again, it's a question of will he know he's there this time? I think he's going to give him plenty of room. I'm sure hoping so, but it looks like Baldridge might slide up. Nope. Basin moving forward just enough. Baldridge will be able to get in behind him. And you can see the damage on the hood of that car, on the Lockhart livery there. Baldridge took a pretty good knocking during this race, at least once.
Just a little bit here, but he will gather it back up to continue on his way as Campbell will hold on and try to see if he can get that last money spot.
Yeah, this is really where the action's at right now. We've got a lot of things solidified toward the front. So let's take a look and see where the money's going to go and see if there's going to have a chance for it to change hands over the next 7 laps. We're going to find out. The 30, Justin Gann, he is in the last money spot. He's up 17 positions. But you know what? Ken Campbell behind him is also up 17 positions. So the two of them have just the same amount of, they've proved the same amount in terms of the skill it takes to get where they are right now. Campbell with a halfway decent run. He's going to hold back just a little bit now as they tuck it in. He's going to use the draft, maybe look for a moment to get a slingshot out from behind Justin Gann. Watch for it here. Watch for Campbell to move down to the inside, but Gann's going to also head down just a little bit, not all the way to the white line. That's Campbell's territory.
Picking up a little bit further ahead, though, watch this. Ben Garrity has made some time. He sits in the 3rd spot, and he's ready to go take the fight to the driver of Jerry Cochran in the 3rd. He'll dive into the bottom of the racetrack. Joe Torres follows suit in the 5th spot, or the 4th spot, as they race off turn 2. He's got about a quarter panel advantage now. He'll look to the inside, trying to see if he can get the opening he needs heading into 3, side by side as they head off turn number 4. But Ben Garrity really putting on a show as he comes out of the corner, comes across contact. As trouble for Joe Torres. He hits the wall on turn 4.
Yeah, big wall contact for Joe Torres, and it looked like there was going to be contact between some cars ahead of him. Maybe he got spooked a little bit, but he definitely went up and took that wall out with him. He is still sitting in 4th position right now, still holding on to it. I think he's going to be all right for the 5 laps left in tonight's race. We'll see, but it's going to be a tough one if he's got any sort of damage at this point. He's trying to keep up with cars that are in better shape. Let's see this here. Garrity down to the inside, a little bit of a turn. Torres in the middle right now. He sees Garrity come up, watches for the swerve. Yep, Torres just gets a little bit spooked by the action ahead of him, and it ends up costing him a meeting with the wall. So, but he bounced back from it pretty well. I gotta say, he's holding on to it.
It's surprised that we didn't have a caution right there, but just of how close it would have been detrimental for those 3 drivers. But they were able to hold in, stay in the gas, and keep at it. As we watch Dylan Basin now closing in on this battle for 5th between Campbell as well as also Justin Gann, who is trying to close in on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Gann wants a little bit more money. Can he get it? Can he get it with 3 to go? I'm not sure. It's going to be an uphill climb. Joe Torres right now is his current target, and Torres is a few car lengths ahead with 3 laps to go. So it's going to take a little bit of doing.
It's going to take a little bit of work indeed here for the drivers as they work their way around the circuit. Popsicle sticks in the air for William Price. 2 laps to go as Torres scrapes the wall again out of turn number 4. As they come across here and set them sides to see who can get in the money spots in the closing laps. Another slap of the wall right there.
Joe Torres sitting pretty behind the 72 of Jerry Cochran. Jerry Cochran is just blocking when he can, when Torres looks like he's going to make that move. Benjamin Garrity is in 2nd. He's up 1 position and in 1st still. And 1st for when we started, it's William K. Price. There goes the white flag. It's the final lap of tonight's race, the money race, the mega money race. William Price holding on to 1st.
He is doing a great job. He has been dominating for the entire race, led from flag to flag just about, as he will sail it down into turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Of course, not the final time here at Chicagoland. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him up towards the front of the field in several other races, but checkered flag in the air, and $100 richer goes to Mr. William Price.
Not a bad way to make some money here. Congratulations to William Price on that 1st place. It looks like 2nd place is going to go to Ben Garrity, 3rd to Jerry Cochran, 4th to Joe Torres, and that last prize money is going to go to Justin Gann.
Great drive by all of the drivers who competed in here tonight's race. I mean, we started off with 25 drivers. We only had 21 finish on the lead lap and a total of 23 finishing. So a great drive for a lot of these drivers here to put on a stellar drive as Mr. William Price comes to burn it down here in the Windy City.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Yeah, we only had one yellow that was caused by a 1-car wreck. So it was a pretty clean night of racing overall. A little bit of bumping and grinding here and there, but rubbin's racing. I think that's what they said in Days of Thunder. So we saw some great exemplary racing, especially when there's money on the line, and you know that money in the pocket is always something us gamer types like to have around. So let's take a look at the unofficial results here and break things down real fast for you. William K. Price in 1st, Benjamin Garrity in 2nd, Jerry Cochran in 3rd, Joe Torres in 4th, Justin Gann in 5th, Ken Campbell in 6th, Dylan Basin in 7th, Johnny Baldridge in 8th, Daniel Weiss in 9th, and Colby DiCarlo in 10th.
Moving on to 11th is Travis Massiere, followed by Alexander Tessier in 12th. Craig Goodenough, well, he was good enough for 13th position. Chad Wolf will be 14th. Kevin Martin, 15th. William Lark, 16th. Russell Black, Robert Lawrence, Carl Field, and Cody Curran, your top 20.
And to bring things home, just to round things out, in the 20s, we've got 21st, Spencer Peterson, then Russell Friedman, Daniel Best, Randy Sample, Rodney Bitcock, Larry McDonald, and the man who did not race, but who is the owner of Team Conti, Michael Conti, there at the bottom there. What a race tonight. I think we're going to maybe get a chance to chat with some of the victors. Let's see if anybody's stuck around for us to talk to. Jerry Cochran would be an excellent name. I see him down there. Let's pull him up and we'll get a chance to talk to him. Hello, Jerry. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon. How's everybody doing?
Hey, we're doing really good, but not as good as you. Third place, not bad. You get on the chart to make a little bit of money tonight. How do you feel about tonight's race?
I felt good, man. I'm gonna tell you what, I had very low expectations coming in. It's a lot of great guys in here, and I don't, you just never know what's gonna happen. All you can do is run your race and do your thing and hope for the best. And it worked out good for us. I was a little too rough on the car first run and lost the right rear there at the end, and more than what I, wish I would had, but learned a little bit that first run and was able to hang a little bit closer to the second run. So good race for us. We stayed clean.
Yeah, absolutely. You think you're going to come back for another one of these races next month, maybe?
Yes, sir, for sure. I missed last month's, but yeah, I plan on trying to run as many as I can if work don't have me tied up or out of town.
Excellent, excellent. Anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to here while we got you on the air?
Yeah, of course. First off, I'd like to thank y'all guys for everything y'all do, and I know y'all got a tough job doing this and broadcasting, and I'm sure y'all do a great job. I'm looking forward to going back and watching it. Thanks to Team Conti and Michael and everybody over there that put this on and makes this happen every month, man. It's great. It says a lot about the community over there, and it's a great community to be in. But other than that, yeah, Grayson J Photography, Team Conti, Obsidian Activewear. That's about all we got. And Third Wave Motorsports, my teammate Gam was in there. I think he got a top 5. So yeah, we come out pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, came in 5th. You guys rounded out the money makers there. Congratulations again. We look forward to seeing you on a future broadcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and thank you for y'all's time. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you take care now. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Taylor Burris, who is going to talk with Ben Garrity. Let's get Ben Garrity up in here.
Absolutely. We are here with second place finisher Benjamin Garrity. Ben, I have to say, you got a lot of speed here towards the end of that race. You put on a stellar show. Couple of close calls for you, though.
Yeah. Just glad to be able to be there at the end. I thought I threw it away for a sec on that last lap. I hit the wall coming to the white.
Absolutely. But, of course, you had a great coach helping you out, of course, Mr. Benefio, one of the drivers who was able to help coach you. What can you say about how well the coaching staff is and those who work under the Team Conti banner to help up-and-coming talent and those who are wanting to progress their way further in the world of eNASCAR competition?
It's very useful. If I would have shown you where I started to where I am now, it's a big difference, and it's a lot to thank because of the Conti guys. They really just help you out with a lot. Anytime you need help, they're willing to help.
Before we let you go, in celebration with this podium finish and, of course, getting some extra cash in your pocket, anyone you'd like to give a shout-out to?
Everyone watching me, and Team Conti for providing the best.
Absolutely. That is Benjamin Garrity coming home in second place. And, of course, our race winner, Mr. William Price, has caught up with Mr. Joe LaCastro.
Mr. Price, can you hear us?
I can.
Well, congratulations on the win from pole to flag. You held on to the lead. What'd you feed that car tonight?
Team Conti, that's what I fed it. And the setups that Conti and Ottinger build.
Yeah, that was, well, the Team Conti setup definitely performed tonight. You barely had a chance to worry about anything. Even the race off of pit road there for the one yellow, you managed to win that and hold off the rest of the pack. Was there ever a point that you maybe thought, maybe Ben Garrity's getting a little close, or Joe Torres is starting to put the heat on?
Yeah, with like 10 to go, Garrity was he started catching me a little bit, then I kind of picked up the pace a little bit more. But on the first run, Basin was catching me. I pulled out to a good lead, but once Basin got in the second, he was catching me, and then he got around the second behind me, and I could kind of maintain that. And then he got trapped. He got trapped a lap down on that pit stop. So I don't know. I think it would have been a close. I mean, Garrity and Jerry and all them were close too, but I don't know what would have happened if me and Basin would have come off pit road after the pit stops to the end.
Well, you managed to still come to the end with a gold medal around your neck, a perfect win, $100 richer, with a perfect record on the race from pole to flag. So congratulations. Is there anybody that you would like to give a shout out to tonight or a thank you to?
The team Conti, Ottinger, Michael Conti, always with a lot of help, always building good setups, always got good, like, if I got any questions, anybody got questions, they give good feedback, try to help everybody. So I appreciate you guys for putting it on, broadcasting as well.
Well, it's our pleasure, and thank you for racing tonight. We look forward to seeing you in a future broadcast, all right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
All right, now take care. And that is going to wrap things up for us from Chicagoland. Taylor, what is your takeaway on tonight's race? What do you got?
Well, for those who are racing in the B Open, watch out for the Team Conti drivers for sure at Chicagoland this week. They got a lot of great stuff ready for them. And of course, great racing overall. This organization has done a great job with building their drivers, coaching their drivers to be able to go out there and put on great races amongst themselves. And I got to say, they got a good show to put ahead of them heading into the new week.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been it. This was one of my first times calling. This was my first time calling this race. I'm looking forward to calling more of them, and I'm impressed by what I've seen. We did 80 laps nearly perfectly, and the racing was still exciting. There was still some bumping and grinding and still a lot to get out of it. So as a spectator, as a commentator, I'm here for this stuff. So let's see some more here. But that was Virtual Chicagoland Raceway. That was the Team Conti Sim Performance Mega Money subscriber event. And from the entire Grid Vision team, we would like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat there. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations again to William K. Price on winning tonight's race from Chicagoland. This has been Joe LaCastro, Taylor Burris, and Austin Darbyshire. We will see you next time on the grid.